Self-perceptual distortions, described by Sandra L. Brown, is one of the most psychologically damaging aspects of narcissistic abuse. It's because changes in you creep in slowly, and your sense of self changes until you become foreign even to yourself. Here are some of the ways the distortion occurs. An erosion of self-trust, where you begin to doubt your own perceptions, judgment, and memories due to all the gaslighting and blame shifting, so you start to wonder maybe you are the problem. Then you get confused between love and abuse because abuse is framed as passion, as how much they care about you. So then you start to believe that jealousy and control is really maybe devotion and protection. And then, of course, they justify the assaults and say it's because they feel so intensely about you. You lose your personal identity because you start to over-identify with them, and you lose touch with what you like and what you don't like, and instead you start to adopt their values and mirror their needs as a way to become one with them, as a way to become compliant and agreeable. And then there's the internalized criticism, where you adopt their critical voice, which becomes your own inner critic. So you preemptively silence yourself and judge yourself as being too harsh, too overreactive, too sensitive, and maybe unlovable. And of course, you start to take way more responsibility than you should. You start to become responsible for their mood, for the abuser's behaviors. You start to think that maybe you've caused the outbursts, and you start to see yourself as both maybe the trigger to their behavior, but also the caretaker when they get reactive. And then you start to internalize shame for their behavior and just think, if I was better, prettier, nicer, more compliant, or smarter, or less needy, maybe then all of this wouldn't happen. So you blame yourself for their bad behavior. And for me, this last one was the most painful, which I got attached to the illusion. I started to cling to the idea that the person that I met, that false self, was still really in there. And if I just worked harder, or we got the right kind of help, maybe we could renew the original relationship that we began with during the love bombing. All of this is why it is so hard to heal, because these perceptual distortions become internalized, become a part of how you see yourself and experience yourself. And it's part of the work that has to be undone in order to heal.